Hello, Taishar Manatherin. I don't know if I'll open all these videos with that. Maybe I will. Maybe it'll be a thing. I don't know. It's kind of nerdy, but I like it. Yes, I'm continuing my real-time book reviews, and yes, I am in currently Perrin cosplay because it's Halloween week at work, and so yeah, I dressed up as Perrin because I thought that would be cool, and I didn't want to shave my beard. I would have cosplayed as Rand, because I want to cosplay Rand also, but I didn't want to shave, and I like Perrin as well. So I like all the ta'veren. I like Mat, but I don't identify with Mat as much. I like Mat. I think he's a great character, but I don't know. Like I feel more of a kinship with Perrin, because he's like a big burly bearded guy. And also with Rand, because he's the main character, and also I really like his whole, like the reincarnated hero kind of thing. I mean, granted, all of them are reincarnated. It's like it's the wheel of time. Like everybody's reincarnated. But I don't know. I guess I like the main character. I don't know. But I like Rand. But I like Perrin a lot too, and I like Mat. Again, I like all of them. But what's funny is I'm going to be talking about book 5, The Fires of Heaven, and the funny thing about this is me being in Perrin cosplay is Perrin's not even in this book. he's not even like, he doesn't feature at all. He's mentioned a couple times. I think there might be a vision sequence in the World of Dreams where like Egwene or somebody like sees a glimpse of Perrin with like a big beard than he had before, which I guess is the reason why I was like, oh yeah, my beard's like gigantic right now because it's winter and quarantine beard and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll just be Perrin. Maybe that was what I was going for, but yeah. Suffice it to say, I just think it's really funny that the Perrin's not even in this book, and I'm dressed up like Perrin, and I'm reviewing this book. But yeah, at any rate, actually, to talk about this book, despite the fact that Perrin isn't in this book, and Perrin is one of my favorite characters, Rand and Mat are obviously in this book, and those are also some of my favorite characters, and their parts are very good. I appreciated that this was so heavy on Rand. This was like one of the more Rand-centric books. Which is cool because, again, like, I don't know. I talked about this in my last review, but I like, or maybe it was one of the previous reviews, but I like Rand, and I like seeing his character, and I like seeing things happen. Nevertheless, though, I do have to say that I've always heard that the middle books in this series start to drag, and I can kind of see it with this one, because this one does sort of feel like there's a lot of stuff that's sort of like, man, like it's important information again, and I don't see how somebody could skip it or anything like that. But nevertheless, like, I don't know, there are in ways things that it sort of, it feels like you're in the middle of the story and you're not near anything climactic. I mean, that being said, like every book in this series so far, the last like couple chapters are a crazy bombastic battle, and like people are using the one power and stuff, and like shooting balefire and like ripping things out of reality and stuff like that. So like obviously there's a lot of like good epic stuff in it that feels climactic, but I don't know, like and again, I hate to harp on it because I already harped on it the last time, but God, the Elaine and Nynaeve part with the menagerie, like I don't care that much about hearing about their antics in the circus. Like, I know that it's still important, and it wasn't that bad. Like, I shouldn't give it too much grief because it's like those portions aren't bad. And obviously the stuff, once they introduce like the kind of cat and mouse game that happens with Mogadine, that's good. Okay, obviously. I don't know. It's just hard for me. It was hard for me to get invested in Elaine doing a tightrope act, and while like Rand is literally like fighting Couladin and like the Aiel like civil war kind of thing that was happening and stuff like that. It's like it's really difficult for me to be invested in this one plot that in comparison to the other plot seems, I don't know, is a little lacking, you know? Like Rand's over here like calling lightning bolts down from the sky and stuff, and then Elaine's like doing a tightrope dance. I'm like, hey bro, like can we get back to the cool stuff? But like again, it's hard to be hard on it, because I will say that there's even portions like I like the stuff with the Prophet in Elaine and Nynaeve's chapters and stuff, and meeting up with the Shinarans again, great. Love those characters. Love Uno and Reagan and all those guys. Cool characters. So it was cool to see them come back. Because I was kind of like, man, dude, I haven't seen these guys since book 2. Like, whatever happened to them? They were cool. And so it's cool to see them touch base with that. Yeah, I don't know, but this definitely does. That's the funny thing is, overall, I have to say that book 5, The Fires of Heaven, does feel like it's middle stuff. And that's not bad, because every story has to have a middle, you know? It's like, what, are you just going to skip to the end? Like, come on, you got to have, I don't know. You need to set things up for payoff, obviously. So I can't be too hard on the book for that. But it does feel like a middle book. And so I have to like judge it as a middle book and whatever, and just talk about it. Truthfully. So it's a middle book. I can't even think of any like big revelations that happened, especially in comparison to the previous book where you get the whole Aiel backstory and stuff like that. Big revelation. And then this one, I can't think of many big revelations. Now, granted, of course, there's the stuff that happens at the end, the last like 5 chapters or whatever, are like, oh my god, like, wait, they're gone? Really? Like, just like that? Like, wow. And people who've read it know what I'm talking about, right? But it's like, you know, yeah, kind of reminded, actually, you know what's funny is the thing that happens near the end in the final chapters where that one character, or I have tried to keep this spoiler free, that one character or the other character fall through an archway reminded me of Harry Potter. It reminded me of Harry Potter the Order of the Phoenix, which I always didn't like because they never explained that archway that Sirius falls through, and I was always sort of like, oh, so what was it? like it's I mean, and granted, like obviously it was meant to be mysterious and stuff, but I remember reading it and being like, what just happened? Like I didn't, and then everybody was like, oh, Sirius is dead. And I was like, he just fell through like a veil though, like he's just on the other side. Like, what's the big deal? Granted, yes, I know it was like whatever, it was like a veil into the afterlife or whatever. I still don't know why like falling through it kills you. And I kind of know a little bit more of why it's a bigger deal in, I feel like they set up the archway in this book a lot better than the archway in Harry Potter that just kind of comes out of nowhere and then Sirius is gone. This archway I think makes a lot more sense because they actually like built it up from a book ago. So I don't know. It comes together a little easier, but I'm still like skeptical about that whole thing. Like, you know, again, I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple books, but I'm still sort of like, I don't know if they're gone. Like, that seems, everybody's acting like they're gone. But I'm like, all right. When they show up again, I'm not going to be that surprised. I'm just saying. But hey, maybe I'm completely off base with that theory. It's weird to have theories about this series because the series is over already. But you know, I can't help it. Like I'm I'm always gonna like theorize about what's gonna happen next and stuff. So and that on that note, I think obviously like I feel like I have to talk about it. The Odinic parallels with Matt are very interesting, especially to me for obvious reasons. I think that that's cool. And then that would mean that Perrin would have parallels to Thor, right? I mean, aside from just the axe thing, which when I'm speaking about the axe thing, I'm not referring to Thor, the Marvel character. I'm referring to the the Proto-Indo-European version of Thor, Perkunos, who used an axe. The Slavic cognate of Thor, Perun, also uses an axe. And also the Nordic battle axe culture of the Iron Age. I think it was the Iron Age. Or maybe it wasn't the Bronze Age. No. I don't know. So, but yeah, the battle axe culture in Scandinavia. The axe was like a big deal for them, and so, and there were even like I think there were necklaces that had the axe on it. So obviously, the Thunder Striker used an axe and a hammer. I mean, he uses all kinds of different weapons, so long as they're striking weapons. So Perrin is Thor, is like a cognate. Can I call it a cognate? I don't know. It feels weird, but I really like it. I like where they're going. But what that means is that Rand is somebody too. I don't know who though. If I were to guess, Freyr, because Rand is into using that fire sword that he creates out of the power, and Freyr obviously uses a sword. He gives up that sword to marry his wife Gerda. And then there's a theory that sword ends up being used by Surtur to kill Freyr at Ragnarok, which I think is interesting. And Surtur is, of course, a fire giant, so therefore fire sword. It's not that big of a stretch. I could see that. Otherwise, Rand, I guess, would be Tyr, because he uses a sword also. I don't know. Difficult to say, but one or the other. It's either Freyr or Tyr. But I think it's cool. I like that there are cognates. You know, it's weird. I mean, honestly, going into this series, I did not know that there would be like Norse cognates to the deities in this book series. So I'm very pleased to find that, for obvious reasons. Again, it's a crazy book series. It's wild. I don't know, man. It always it just throws something new at me every time. So yeah. So final thoughts. Fires of Heaven. It is good. I like it. I will say that my favorite parts are the Rand parts. Rand gets a lot of development, I think. And of course, at the end, I love it. Even though I kind of hate it because it's a little tiresome, but I love the Superman complex at the end. I can't love anybody. I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. It's so trite, but I love it. I don't know, like it's so cliche, but it's so fun too. But it is very frustrating to be like, dude, come on. Like, I know you're gonna go through this stupid phase, and in like maybe one book, maybe two books, I don't know, but he's gonna get over it, and you know, stop feeling like, oh, I have to push everybody away. Oh, I'm too burdened. Like, bro, come on, like this is ridiculous. It's so funny though when characters do that. I say that as if the characters have a life of their own. I mean, they kind of do. But like, it's such a predictable thing to happen. But I'm not critiquing it because like, it's okay. Like it's okay to be predictable to an extent. Like it's okay to follow patterns, to follow the pattern. That was not intentional, but it's okay to Am I just gonna keep going to let the wheel weave? Yes, it's fine. Frankly, like especially with a book series like this, it's like, wait, what are you gonna claim it's unoriginal? Like that? I don't know what to tell you. That's the point of the book. Like the entire series is called The Wheel of Time because it goes around and around like a wheel. I always want to put the Blind Guardian Wheel of Time song in these videos, but it's going to get copyright struck. Striked. Thunderstriker. No, okay. So this has gone on long enough. Thank you all for listening. If you're even still listening at all. I will continue to read this series. I'm going to take a break from this series though, unfortunately. I have another book I'm going to read and then I'm going to review at a later date because I like doing these book reviews. I think it's fun and I like encouraging people to read. Even though I know that like it used to be like the cool thing to tell people to read books. And all of a sudden recently it became like a thing to be like, stop reading, just go to the gym. I mean, yes, you should go to the gym, but you can still read cool books, especially like fiction books. Like they're so, I don't want to say low investment. They're not low investment exactly if it's a good book, but like that's what you like. Fiction books are not bad to read. You don't have to always read Plato and stuff. You don't have to always be reading nonfiction or something like deep and philosophical and big brained and stuff. It's like fiction is good because it can inspire you to like do cool things and stuff. Climb a mountain, go into the desert and unite with your people and take them over the mountains and conquer lands. I mean, honestly, you could. But that's the point. I don't know. That's the point of fiction. I think fiction is good because it's cool to feel inspired by that. Because when I read The Wheel of Time, I get all stoked and stuff. And again, especially because of the Old Norse things. I don't know. Like it hits something here in the same way that Lord of the Rings hit something here. You know, like you read a good, powerful like a book with that. It gives you that thumos. You know, you get that feeling in your chest and you're like, oh, I gotta go do something. I'm feeling it. I'm pumped. I love that stuff. And that's why I like The Wheel of Time. And that's why I think people should read it. And that's why I'm going to continue reading it and keep on talking about it because it's cool. So, all right. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure. Stay Wheel of Time strong. I don't know.